Good morning, good morning, good morning. Celeste Silvercord here. As always, if you enjoyed the videos, please like, share, subscribe. And, if you need a reading or anything else like that, links are below. Just going to give you guys a second. Did it go off? Yes, it did. All right. Ooh. So, we're going to be talking about the Lionsgate Portal. Today is the day, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, what do the numbers have to do with anything? The 8-8. Well, that has actually got not really much to do with it. It just happens to be when the star Sirius comes out and lines up in Egypt. So, yeah, it's more astrological than number-based. It just happens to land on 8-8, and, 8 is an infinity symbol, so it's double infinity. Here we go. Good morning. I had to put my fingers over the naked lady on my card. This deck has naked people in it. About a minute and a half. I was just doing my regular rundown spiel. But now I was talking about the Lionsgate Portal and how it's not so much to do with the date. Like a lot of people think it's just the 8-8 number synchronicity, but that's not it. It has to do with the star Sirius in Egypt and its lineups. So for anybody to really wants to look at what that is all about, look that up, the star Sirius and how it's lining up with the pyramids and things like that in Egypt. The Sphinx, the Lion's Gate. And yeah, and the message with it is, or at least that I woke up with today, is it is time to release the past in order to activate the future. What I've been working through personally is trying to let go of the resentment that I have for people who started this journey with me, but then flaked out completely. Not only flaked out, but caused all kinds of drama, caused lots of setbacks, just all that, and the fact that I had to keep starting over and over again, anytime someone else's tower fell. And I have to recognize the fact that, and we all started this, the original Cards and Coffees was just me, my mom, and my aunt. And every single reading said, do it on your own. Do it on your own. Do it on your own. And every single time I kept letting people talk me into, letting them come along because I wanted everybody to elevate. I wanted everybody to, get on the abundance frequency. And my aunt was etching glass and doing art too. And, I bought $200 worth of stuff to make soap. And, my mom was supposed to be my IT person, but it seemed like all I ever did, it was like herding cats constantly. And, and they're just running around and spraying piss on everything. And it sucked, man, But I'm proud of myself, especially for the first half of this year, that, I've really embraced doing it on my own and figuring out how to do it all on my own. So that way I no longer have to worry about having to be dependent on anybody, because it's not even that these people hurt us. They go through their own bullshit and create their own bullshit. And we can't really get mad at them for that because we do it to ourselves too. But what ends up hurting you the most is your own expectations on other people. You know, and that's where the resentment and the anger comes in. That's what needs to be released. Yeah. So the conflict comes in. You said you were going to help. You said you were going to help. You said you were going to help. First card is the Ace of Rods. You know, so this is being inspired and creative to move forward, you know. And these conflicts, man, can't just keep, I don't know. Can't keep dwelling on it. That creates that anger frequency I told you guys that I struggle with all the time. It's Five of Rods, but yeah, it's the same thing. What ended up happening? Some weird childhood background nonsense of people, of other people who are having a hard time releasing their past with each other. And they bring up their own same toxic cycles over and over and over again. And of course, at the time, I did not realize that that was what was happening. You know, it took everything falling apart. Anybody who was in the silver cord at the very beginning understands exactly what I'm talking about. They ended up getting a grand display of just idiocracy there for several months. Yeah. Where actually at some point, for a while, I kicked my mother and my aunt out of the group completely. And now my aunt's no longer on Facebook at all. She won't do anything on the internet anymore. And my mother is a very mild, quiet member. Well, it's sad because, you know, one of my big things is that I was a generational witch, you know. That's one of my pride points. We used to do rituals together and everything. And it's like, you know, I figured, you know, and now I'm a moon priestess and my mother's a draconian witch and my aunt was a high priestess in a Wiccan coven in New York. And it was so cool at first, and we all had our own things and we would all take turns doing different types of rituals. And it was so beautiful to start. And then, I don't know, like when they got on the edge of actually activating, it just the way they spectacularly self-sabotaged themselves and in effect ended up sabotaging a lot that I was working towards and costing me a lot. Yeah. And that's a lot of things. Yep. 10 of Cups reversed. You know, that's what we all need to be releasing. Well, that's it. It was all very strange. I don't, and of course it doesn't help all that stuff that happened with the Chantix and everything else. Yeah, I have no timelines anymore. I can't remember when things happened. So, but I do remember them happening. Last summer was, oh man. But that's what I'm talking about. Today is the day to release it. Today is the day. Did get my Kundalini awakening, and that was amazing. And I got a heart center opening, and dude. That's what I mean. I try to remember when things happened in 2018 to 2019, and I just can't put it together anymore. This is going to be a terrible watch back for other people, but it is what it is. Like I said, I tried to be honest with you guys. It's the end of a cycle. Like, a lot of you guys, you have different dynamics, different relationships, romantic relationships that have reached an end where they weren't what you thought they were going to be. And, it started out all fire and passion and a great idea and let's all transform. Then it immediately turned into, oh my God, power struggle between the old and the young and the male and the female dynamics. And then boom, you realize, oh my God, this isn't even my fight. And I don't even know what's going on. And all their squabbles turn to 10 of Cups over. And that's what we need to be releasing. Just because that path didn't work out. And that's the hard thing. Is accepting that no matter how powerful of a manifester you are, you cannot control other people. That is bitch about the co-creation. I have to try and manifest, an abundant frequency while living with people who don't even believe, you know what I'm saying? And being able to control your own energy and stuff like that. Like, they say they do, these are witches, highly intuitive. These are the women who taught me how to tarot read, but for some reason, their mindset is life's supposed to be hard, life's supposed to be a struggle, and there's nothing you can do about that. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. That's a frequency of lack, and I don't want to be in it anymore. But I'm also not going to I don't know. I am trying to figure out, personally in my life, I am trying to figure out how to get around that. Get around the co-created. It's almost like they don't want me to succeed, because if I do without them, they'll realize what they missed, type deal. So I have to work around that too. And that's a subconscious thing they're doing to me. And people don't realize that too. There are people in your life that subconsciously want you to fail, because that will confirm their reality. That's the problem with the co-creation. It's like they say they want you to do well. They say that. But in all actuality, if you do well, somehow that will look bad on them, because they could have done it too, just as easily. So for them, they have to see it be hard. As Rob, he was just like, nobody ever, turns it around in 2 years, baby. We've only been doing it for 2 years. No one ever does that. And I'm like, dude, I've watched people do it. So it is entirely possible. My problem is literally everybody around me keeps saying it's impossible. And that's hard, because that's a co-created reality. I said that once too, if you guys ever watched the Naya Universe. I know I've mentioned her before too, where she talks about how she wanted to live without having to eat food. And I was like, I believe anything's possible. There was that monk who lived in the mountains who only lived off like one or two of these little leaves off a tree a day, and he was green. And he could like melt stone with his hands and stuff like that. And students used to travel all the way up in the mountains to stay with them. Like, anything's possible. But I said she messed up when she said it in a video. She messed up by saying it out loud to a group of people who don't believe you can do it. Because now you gotta contend with that. And then they'll make it hard on you. You know. And they say they don't mean to and all that other things, but it's like people who walk up on me when I'm doing videos and start talking to me like I'm not in the middle. What are you doing? I'm sitting in the corner talking to myself. What do you think I'm doing? Really? I want to get one of those big old-fashioned TV set, the big red on-air light. That way I can like stick it up here or something like that, and I can click it on when I'm recording so people know that I'm on air. Because apparently that's not blatantly obvious from the fact that I'm sitting alone talking to myself. Well, that's it. You're either I've said that too. You're either activating me or you're distracting me, and distractions got to go. But I don't know. I'm in a weird dynamic right now, and I'm working my way through shifting it around. I actually had to go through a good period of time of making videos where nobody was watching me anymore. Nobody in my real life can watch my videos because they'll pick it apart to no end. And that took about a year. I gave the light up dream catcher to Alyssa. So we have got the line here of what we are releasing. And now I have a line going for what we are working towards activating. And it looks much nicer than the line of what we are releasing, which is usually how it goes. Let's see if I can get one more card for it. I just like to babble while I'm shuffling, so I'm just not sitting here in silence. Yep. And there it is. The Hangman reversed. Enough contemplating, enough all that. You're done with the hanging upside down. You're ready to start moving forward out back into that beautiful sun energy. Like I said, the Lionsgate Leo sun energy. This is the maximum peak of that energy right now. Two of Wands, progress, discovery, moving forward, looking towards the future, ready to start, taking things, and the whole world is opened up to you. A whole new cycle is getting ready to start. It is, the whole world is getting ready to shift. This is a major completion of a cycle, And isn't it always nice when you can put a period on the end of your cycle? Ladies are lucky. You should use that energy when you have it flowing for you too. It is a natural release. Oh, I like this. This came out very nice. I wish I had a camera that I could put on and show you. But yes, we are moving into a new cycle. So it is just going to require releasing the past, Have to let go of the past. You have to let go of past expectations. Yes, things are going to start shifting pretty quickly for everybody, guys. I mean, just the world in general. Everything's shut down right now, but I keep telling you guys, once all the planets are direct, we're going to be moving so quickly in new directions, it's going to blow everybody's mind, But like I said, we have to release the fact that people put past expectations on us. We have to let go of people no longer being who they used to be. People not being who you thought they were. Need to let go of anger of people who have let you down. Like I said, those were just, the biggest thing that hurts us in our lives is that we assume other people will have the same moral codes, values, and, try as hard as we will. And sometimes that is just not the case. And if it's someone, especially people that have been doing the same cycle over and over again, I mean, some people right now are breaking a cycle that they've been in for a decade or more. That's rough. That's rough. Because a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. A lot of people will continue to look back and be like, oh, well, I spent 15 years, I can't just let go of 15, no matter how terrible and horrible it is, keep holding on to it. And it's rough. That's a hard thing. And not a lot of people make that shift. And then they end up in the same thing. Yeah. The how long is too long video. That's what I said. I said 10 years was too long. 6 years was too long. It's different. Like, certain cycles are normal. Everybody's going to argue and bicker and everything else sometimes. But if it's like bad things, like it's all the time, it's every few days you're arguing, there's never a couple of weeks of, whatever. Ladies deal with moon cycles. So we get really bitchy for a couple of days a month where we are zero tolerant of everybody's shit, and everything that bothers us is just right there on the surface, and we speak our minds. But quite honestly, it's because most of the time women keep their mouths shut 99% of the time. We just let things roll off our back and just keep moving forward, and we're the empaths, and we just, and that's different. That is totally different. That is normal. That is, that is us resolving conflicts that we have been bottling up within ourselves. And we all tend to do that. And guys do it too. So, they don't get to be benevolent in that situation. Everybody hits that phase where they have the zero tolerance, right? Yeah, when it's an everyday thing, and then what? And then you put your foot down, and then they're nice for a week, and then as soon as they think you're not going anywhere, it just goes right back to shit. My problem is there's usually somebody different every day. Like, every day, someone different throws something random on me. I'm like, you guys are killing me, man. Nobody takes me seriously. It's not that. It's just everybody just assumes that I can just always be there for everybody at the drop of a hat. And I keep telling them, it's just the kids get that. So, all right. I got down here, I've got the Two of Swords. It says peace. We all know the Two of Swords is meant to making those hard decisions. The Prince of Pentacles reversed. This is not, like I said, this is the frequency of lack of thinking that it has to be hard, it has to be difficult. This is also kind of the self-sabotaging card, because upright, the Prince of Pentacles is very organized, orientated. He, he works on a schedule. He does things in a proper way, and he follows all those things. This is the procrastinator, the not keeping a schedule, the not keeping organized, not keeping notes and books and things that you're supposed to. This is the unorganized energy, and it's a self-sabotaging one. So that's where you need to make peace with yourself, within yourself, on where you actually self-sabotage, where you're procrastinating, where you're stalling yourself out. You can blame other people all you want, but you have to recognize where you're making mistakes too. It's not always on everybody else. And then once you realize where you're self-sabotaging yourself as well, boom, boom, boom. High Priestess. Intuition, manifesting energy. The more you put focus into what you want and what you are doing and working towards it, the more your intuition will guide you down that path. Now, we've got both the queens reversed here. So you got the Queen of Pentacles, where you don't feel very down to earth, nurturing and mothering. And then, we got the Queen of Cups, who's usually calm and compassionate. So this is, I'm not even going to take these as a negative. This is you being done giving out that energy to people who don't deserve it anymore. Some people have taken advantage of your nurturing energy and your compassion, and they've been playing on it for way too long, because right after this, we got the Devil. So this is accepting that some people are just feeding off of you, and they're playing you, and because they understand exactly how you think. And they understand how compassionate and nurturing and loving you are. And you expect them to give you the same in return, but they're not. That's the Devil energy. It is, yes. As soon as you go into, and that's a problem I see. That's a problem a lot of people have, is you want so much to nurture, you want so much to send love, you want so much to help people, you want everybody to wake up and activate with you, and you're trying and you're expending so much energy on everybody else, and you're neglecting stuff that you should be doing for you. There's things you should be doing for you. And it's time that we start releasing those patterns, releasing that toxic cycle, so that we can activate our futures. Calling everybody out, honey. We are all one. That's why I like to do big collective readings, because so many of us are just on the same paths. We're on the same shifts. I mean, that's why I believe in astrology so much. Quite honestly, that's why I believe in astrology so much. Because, I mean, I do tarot readings for people all day, and just little things. I mean, it blows my mind how similar so many people's storylines are. And if they're not even, like, a lot of the time, everybody right now, majority of the people that I read for are on the timeline I was on in 2019. You guys are just doing it in 2020. And I've seen this. This is, because time's really irrelevant, even though we're all on the same timelines. Are you really going to do a food truck with readings on the side? Because that was Rob's big thing. He wanted to do a food truck. And I wanted to do readings in a tent at festivals. That's too funny. That's hysterical. That's what I mean. So many people on similar timelines with similar ideas. All right, so let's do the big recap where we put it all together without all my shuffling rambles. And I tell you what, when I'm done doing the recap, because it's the Lionsgate Portal, whoever, the two of you that are watching right now, if you stick to the end, I'll let you ask a question. Okay? So, for the Lionsgate Portal, general message for the entire collective is, we got the Ace of Rods. This is what we are releasing. You were activated, and you were on your way, and you got really inspired, and you were trying to wake up and take people with you, and boom, cognitive dissonance, all kinds of things broke out, old toxic cycles, everything else. All this stuff came to the forefront, caused a bunch of conflicts. It took a while, but you realized these conflicts were not even yours. These people were battling each other over things that had nothing to do with you. And, you allowed them to you allowed them to take your 10 of cups. You allowed them to turn your happy home into a nightmare. You allowed them to crash whatever dream or whatever that you had that where they came along with you. All they did was cause conflict. And that is what we need to release, because we are done. Hangman reverse. We are done being stuck. It is time. The Hangman really is a sacrifice card. It's about what you need to let go of. And a lot of what we need to let go of is that idea that we thought certain people were going to step up and do this journey with us, and realizing that, no, they're not. And it's deep down, it always was and always will be. Any spiritual journey is a lonely one for a period of time. You have to be able to put your own emotional needs and needs of what you're trying to accomplish over other people's petty squabbles. And if you can't rely on them, activating or distractions got to go. That's how you get back into the sun. Lionsgate Portal 8 series, look up the pyramids, all that stuff today. Man, it is time to seize on these energies and use them to help reactivate yourself back into what your dream was. Take all the extra people and cut them out of whatever it was you were trying to do. And then envision yourself doing it on your own and moving forward on that path again. This is the completion of one cycle and the great beginning of another. You even have a lion on this card. Lionsgate Portal, guys. Use this energy to your advantage. Release the past drama and embrace the future, and stop trying to add other people into your manifestations. Your manifestations should just be things you will do, you will accomplish on your own. Cannot add other people in. As soon as you do, that is a co-created thing. And if they're not on the right frequency, they will tower your shit. Make peace with that. In this deck, she doesn't even have the blindfold on. She's just holding the two swords up. Make peace with that and set healthy boundaries with these people. Get organized. Don't let other people distract you and ruin your stuff anymore. I know that is going to be a big one. I'm going to be setting some very healthy boundaries around here so that I can start actually accomplishing some things. By the time the kids start school, there will be a whole new routine in this house. And that will be my healthy boundaries that I will be setting down for everybody here. You need to do the same. Whether you're just a mom and you get control of the hassle, or if you're trying to start your own business or anything else like that, yes, boom, it's time to get organized. Like I said, recognize where you're also self-sabotaging yourself. And that is how you get into the high priestess manifesting and your intuition starting to really guide you instead of other people distracting you and your own emotions and ego getting in the way with these battles and conflicts with other people. Sometimes you need to cut people off from your divine feminine energy. They do not deserve it right now. You need your energy for things you are trying to accomplish. You don't need these addicted, soul-sucking devils distracting you anymore and ruining it. And sometimes this card can also mean you have to recognize where you're addicted to your own drama. That one sink in. Are you addicted to drama? How much do you feed into the cycle? Recognize it. Break it. Okay? Magic cards I got for today were the triple spiral, listening to the divine wisdom and joyful learning of life's lessons. You do not waste your time trying to help people. That is never a waste of time. You learned a great deal about people and different situations. You learned a great deal about yourself and how you maybe allow yourself to be used or how you feed into the cycles. That is a life lesson. It is very important that we realize that, it's all a spiral. We are always, if people say life's a circle, I don't think it's a circle. It's a spiral. And every time you come around, you're a little higher up on it. and have a slightly different perspective. And every time you circle around. So every time is a lesson. Fire. The element of fire holds new life, renewed passion, and positive transformation. It's about following your passion, what makes you passionate, what makes you happy. Work with fire to burn away things that no longer serve you, okay, and your highest purpose. I know that sounds cliche and cheesy, and everybody says it, and it's like, what does that even mean? What no longer serves you? Does being mad no longer serve you? Does loving on these people who sabotage you serve you? Is it helping you achieve? Are you stuck in lack? Can you not reach the higher frequencies because you're being weighed down? You have to be able to look at that, and then you have to be able to burn it away and fire yourself up so that you can continue to elevate regardless of what everybody else around you is doing. The elements. The element of fire, air, earth, and water combine to create a powerful protective boundary, spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional, right? So, and this is the spiel I always get when I always do when I hear the elemental card, right? Earth is the physical reality. That's your whole body. That's everything physical. That is the earth element, right? Air is your thoughts and your words and your breath, right? Fire is your passions. What makes you excited, what gets you that burning sensation, what gets you rolling in life and inspires you to do things and empowers you to do things. And water is your emotions, right? Are they balanced? Can you keep them from being rocked? What brings you good emotions? What brings you bad emotions? Balance that out. Once you get all of those elements in line together, you start moving forward. And, and how fast and how slow you go is really going to depend on you and how much you allow other people to affect you. One of my self-sabotaging traits is I allowed other people to affect me way too much. And that's something I am releasing too. I don't come on here and give you guys this advice because it's not stuff that I don't understand. I go through it too. If I'm not going through it, I've been through it. I know I seem really young, but you would be amazed at what I remember from lifetimes and the cycles that have repeated lifetime after lifetime. That's why my specialty usually is past life readings. That's what I do when I do personal readings up at the Zen Den. All right, well, Magical's first because she was in here. Actually, I usually don't do the questions, but I am today because it's a Lionsgate Portal. So let me do Magical's first, and I guess Ralph was the other one in here. Did you want to ask a question today, Ralph? Just throw one for you. What deck should we use? Having fun playing with all my decks today. I'm just giving them all some love since this portal's going on. I'll bust out my fairy deck. Been a while since I used this one. But I'll use this one for some readings for you guys, okay? All right, so this is a card for Magical. The Lovers, a true love that is long-lasting, choices made from the heart, and a return to good health. I don't know, darling. You know what this tells me? You've been wasting a long time on the wrong person. And once you're able to move past that, that's when you're going to figure out what love really feels like. That's fine, Ralph. If you would like to talk later, we can. I'm going to take the kids to the river this afternoon, but this evening we can figure something out. All right, who else was in here? Is Kin 1, 2, 3 still in here? Okay. We'll go ahead and get you a card. All right, so you got the 10 of Winter. It says the resolution of difficulties, a weight lifted off your shoulder, the end of an addiction or codependency. This is what I was talking about. We are in a cycle of releasing right now. The universe is telling you that you need to recognize where you are codependent on other people and that is holding you back. And what addictions don't always have to be a substance. Addictions are anything you use to procrastinate from accomplishing your goals. So this is telling you that it's the end of a cycle and it's time to release these things that you do to yourself that keep you from achieving your goals, and it keep recognizing when you are codependent on others to do for you things that you could be doing for yourself. Yep, that's what the whole Lionsgate Portal is for today. It's all about releasing the past and bringing in so that you can activate the future. You know, that's been my big lesson too. I have to realize not even so much that it was a codependence. I tried to depend on undependable people. And I kept hoping for the best and it self-sabotaged me. So that is a big lesson many, many of us are going through. All right, Mika. Well, I'm not going to ask will you go on the date with the Virgo, but I will see what the universe has to say about Mika and her Virgo. Mika and the Virgo. What do we got? These cards are big. I'm going to switch them up here in a second. All right. Oh, you lucky dog. You got a bunch of cards on yours. I got the 4 of weekends. The 4 of winter. 4 of weekends. Set aside your concerns from now. You can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation, the need for more sleep or vacation. All right. This says that you're kind of stressing on it a lot. You need to kind of let go of that energy of, yeah, it's kind of you want it so bad that can actually cause a frequency that'll push the other person away. So you got to find a balance right there. And then you got, we got 4 here. 4 of autumn. Manage your resources wisely, achieve balance in how you spend and save money, help those who are less fortunate. So this is saying be mindful of how much you're going to spend out and be aware of how much. Don't put yourself in any type of detriment trying to show off or trying to do things. Yeah, it's one thing about like not. It's a balance when it comes to the money energy, because you want to be generous, but you don't want to be so generous that you put yourself in a detriment, because then that'll put you back in the frequency of lack. You got an 8 of Winter here. You have what it takes. If only you believed in yourself, thinking that you are powerless when you are not. A lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. A little bit of your desperation is because you're a little self-conscious, honey. You need to learn how to stand in your confidence more, and that way you won't come off as needy and dependent. Ace of Winter. Don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately. Amazing new ideas that should be implemented. When dealing with a Virgo, speak clearly. They're going to overthink everything. So don't be deterred by those challenges. When it comes to them, let them just keep, just speak clearly and make sure that you are honest and upfront with them as much as possible. Because any type of if they perceive that you're manipulative in any way, even if you're not trying to be, you're just trying to put up your best foot forward, they can take that as you're being fake or you're manipulating. So just be mindful that they think a lot. Like, you might think you think a lot, but they think a lot. Oh, I can't. I don't know what it is about Virgo and Aquarius. I just, I don't know. They think too much. There's 2 Aquariuses in the world that I love, and that's my grandfather and my uncle, and they're just very cool, laid-back versions. She's an Aqua going out with a Virgo. Hi. Not a terrible combo. I didn't know she was an Aquarius, though, when I said that. But they can do that, too, Aquas have a tendency of being very in control of their emotions all the time. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think she left. People get their readings and then they bounce out. But, let's get one more. We'll get an Earth Magic card just to round it out, just so I have a little closing here for you guys. Ooh. I said Aqua. I said Virgos and Aquas are the most overthinkers in the entire zodiac. And that's my aunt, too. She's a Aquarius with a bunch of Virgo in her chart, so drives me nuts. All right. So for today, the universe is telling you to focus on the most to get you through any hard energies is rainbow blessings. And just like getting the rain purification card yesterday, it cannot be rainbows without rain. I know it's cheesy and it's cliche, but it is true. It is, the beauty after the storm. The fact that once everything's been washed away, it's endless possibilities, you know. The Tower card I always see is a good card. Once the Tower is fallen, then you can rebuild. And it can be completely different than what it was before. If a tower fell for you, you were in a place that wasn't stable anyway, and you were probably very uncomfortable and anxious all the time because you could feel it constantly shaking about to crash. The storm is passing, guys, and the rainbows are getting ready to come out. It is time to dance and celebrate, right? Celebration. Find reasons to dance and celebrate, even if you're just dancing by yourself in your house. I am a big proponent of that as well. I love just bebopping around and dancing along to music that you enjoy, you know. Have fun with it. Don't worry about, you know, there's a saying, dance like nobody's watching, because nobody is. They're all looking at their cell phones anyway. You go and have a good time, you know, and find those who you like to dance with. I'm a big proponent of finding people who like the same music and like to do the same things that you do. You know, those are the people you should be celebrating with if you're celebrating today. And, you know, celebrate all you guys have accomplished. 2020 has been a hard year. You guys deserve to do that. Yes, I am taking my kids to the river today, and we are going to go do our own little celebration out in the sun and go cleanse in some river water and listen to music and grill out for a while and have a good time. I'm going to try and be back on. I might be on later. I don't know. I was talking earlier about trying to do some evening videos for you guys so that the West Coasters could catch me live. But all right, that's the time I have for this morning. As always, if you enjoyed the videos, please like, share, subscribe, spank my bell. You know, none of you guys hit like this morning. You guys always do it after I sign off. All right. Blessed be all those who walk these paths with me. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.